The pain a hand pulls away. Let it go and close. Nah, fuck. In front of me, we'll turn forever. Oh shit. My bad. I hit the record button, and so I went to go shut the door because the TV's playing out there, but I decided to leave the door up because actually when someone comes in through the garage door so I can hear it and everything, and I can't be recording when anyone's here just for the sake of like silence and whatnot, but I'm not good. You can't hear the TV from out there from here. I can hear it, but the microphone's not going to pick it up. Maybe actually, hold up. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not, but fuck, lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah. Got a question. Are all addictions bad? Are all addictions bad? Let's think about it, right? Let's get into this. So, an addiction, right? An addiction is something that you can't stop. And what is it? 14 days? 14 days to create a habit or an addiction? What's the difference? A habit, maybe that's the difference. A habit is something you think about, an addiction is something you don't think about, or a habit is mental, an addiction is physical, or maybe I don't know the difference between the two. Maybe they're interchangeable, but I feel like there's not. I feel like there's actually like minor differences that classify the we all gonna learn something real quick. Habit. Let's see what the Google says. A settled or regular tendency or practice, especially one that is hard to give up. Or it is a long, loose garment worn by a member of a religious order or congregation. But no, habit. A settled or regular tendency or practice. A settled or regular tendency or practice, especially one that is hard to give up. Okay, so let's go with addiction. Addiction, the fact or condition of being addicted to. How the fuck are you gonna use the word in the definition? We're looking at it like, why would you use? If I don't know what this word means, then why would you use it in the definition? Let me finish it up. The fact or condition of being addicted to a particular substance, thing, or activity. So when you have an addiction, okay, it's a condition to a substance, thing, or activity. As opposed to a habit is a tendency or a practice. Okay, so yeah, so a habit, it sounds like the way I'm interpreting that right now, it sounds like a habit is more like personal, like it's more like in your character, or it's in your how do you say? It's something that you don't think about doing, like a muscle memory type thing, if that kind of makes sense. An addiction is it's caused by something, or you're addicted to something, if that makes sense. And so, yeah, I know this is all like common sense to some people. I know this is, but just to clarify between a habit and an addiction. So, back on track. If we ask if addictions are bad, then that question answers itself, doesn't it? If someone says, "Hey, do you have an addiction?" or "Hey," first off, what is a good addiction, right? Because as soon as you get addicted to something, someone, that means it's out of moderation, right? And to me, life it's really a game of balance, and we all have different balances. We all have different tipping points. We all got different scales, and as soon as something is out of balance, that tells me that I just noticed. So I'm at my grandma's right now, and she has a Joel Osteen book. Sorry, come on. Isn't that guy like? Is that the dude who's famous for like scamming people? Is that him? Joel Osteen, however you pronounce it. Like, isn't he the one like famous for like Scam, like he doesn't give to like charities and shit, but he has like 3 mansions, like something ridiculous like that. I'm kind of surprised she actually has that book because my grandma's all about, like Black Power, Black Pride. She's old. She grew up during those times. Maybe whatever. We're getting off track. Damn it. So no, yeah, and as soon as you are addicted to something, that tells me that you fell out of balance, and you are more than likely affecting other people. See, because that's the thing, right? The people who care about you know when you are addicted to something. They can tell when you've changed, right? And it could be anything, right? An addiction can be anything. You could be addicted to I'm addicted to eating. Fuck. Like but then again, I am a stress eater, and just recently I've been going through a lot of things, like mentally and shit. And I didn't realize I was a stress eater until earlier this year, actually, right? Fucking almost 26 years in life, and I'm still finding things out about myself. So I really got to keep that shit in check, because I do gain. I'm a big boy. I gain weight easily, and so. But I also do lift and everything. So as easily as I gain fat, I can gain muscle. But it's hard for me to lose anything. But you can be addicted to anything, right? Like I said, my addiction is food by far. You could be addicted to hell. Some people are addicted to sex. You could be addicted to making money. You could be addicted to the obvious one, drugs. You can be as soon as it throws your shit out of whack, then that's how you know you're addicted to something. And when you're affecting other people, it's addictive. And when it gets bad enough, right? Like the interventions and the oh shit. There it was. So let's use a movie reference actually. Scarface, for example. He was addicted to his money. And on top of that, he was addicted to drugs. But overall, he was addicted to his money. And that ended up being his downfall, right? Because he just went overboard with it. And, you get consumed by it. And it ends up being so. Once again, let's use an obvious example. Drug addicts. All the overdoses and everything. Because it consumes them. And, granted, you're not in your right state. This is something that affects you. And so it changes you. And it changes your state of mind. And it changes, and that's the thing, too. Like, people notice, right? The people who are close to you, the people who care about you, they notice you're going through changes, right? Especially if you have decent parents, if you have decent friends, or maybe, boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, like people notice. And when someone brings something up to you, right? So the way I used to be was if it was one person that says something, then whatever, right? It's not that big of a deal. But keep in mind, people are afraid to talk. People are afraid to say things to you. People are afraid. They're afraid to, to get on your bad side. They don't want to make you angry. They don't want to offend you. They don't want to get too personal. They don't want to, so when it comes to, and don't get me wrong, like you notice it too. And you notice it, but it's more of like a subconscious thing that you notice because you notice you're doing it all the time. You're feeding your addiction all the time. And that's one of the, like when you meet new people, that's one of the first things that they notice. They say, oh, this is Jake. Yeah, he fucking works out a lot. Or like he cooks a lot. Or, you know what I mean? Like something a lot. He drinks a lot. Like, you know what I mean? And so when someone says something, that is when you need to take it upon yourself and do some self-reflection. Don't fucking try and justify either like, oh, well, no, I only do this because I used to do this and now I do this. Or you could be like, oh, yeah, well, I might be doing this, but I could be doing something worse. I could be doing... No, because someone brought it up, right? And when someone says something, like when someone vocalizes it, when they bring it out, then that means that they're really feeling some type of way, or you made them feel some type of way, and it needed to be brought to attention. So go to someone else that you trust and, just ask them. Just say, hey, Have I been acting different lately? Is there anything that you've noticed that, something? You may need to dig. You may need to pry. That person might be just like, no, I haven't. No, you've been fine. You've been fine. Like, but then just be like, yeah, are you sure? Because this person says I've been acting a little different lately. Like, do you see? And that might be the, oh, well, yeah, you've been doing this and you say that, and this has been happening, and yeah, it's and it's hard too, right? Because when you're addicted to something, you don't realize it until it's too late. You don't realize you're addicted until you are addicted, and you're addicted, so it's hard to quit it. It's fucking hard. It's awful because you've been feeding that addiction. You've been getting all those positive responses in and of yourself, and in a way, it's kind of selfish, in all honesty, but it makes you happy, right? It makes you happy, but when you start to affect the people you care about, and you start to affect the people that cares about you, and let me take that back. The people that care about you, more than likely you care about them as well, but there's always people. I can't say, how do I say this? Everyone always tries to be the good guy, and everyone's just, oh yeah, you can come to me for anything. You can, everyone tries to be that person, but that's just not true. That's just not how it is. You know how many people I've gone to where it wasn't even like a fucking, I wasn't going to them and it was just a subject that I bring up, and I'll just try and make light conversation about it, right? Because no one wants to be hit with some heavy shit out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Especially if you don't have a deep relationship with them, or if you don't have if you two aren't on that level, you can't go to. Now, me personally, right? I don't fucking know why, but I legitimately care about the well-being of everyone else. And it sucks too, because I have to be really wary of myself feeling like that for other people, because people take advantage of people like that. Does that make sense? And it's sad but true, right? I do come from I come from a broken home, and I come from a dysfunctional family, but my sister has the hugest heart ever. She grew up torturing herself because she could not get it. She could not get why she is so loving and caring and nurturing. She will do anything for anybody at the drop of a hat. But no one was ever there for her. Nobody ever turned around. No one ever checked up on her. No one was ever. And it sucks for people like that, because they say, I'm like this. I don't have any bad intentions. I'm not a bad person. I'm trying to do good. And it's not for an ulterior motive. They're like, I'm not doing this in hopes that I get this back, or I'm not doing this for somebody and expecting, right, to get a return. It's not, it's just a good natured person. And people, right, and you don't have to be a bad person necessarily, but obviously, yeah, bad people will do that. They'll take advantage, but just your average person, your regular person. And there are times where people don't realize they're taking advantage. That's how they grew up, or that's just how they are inherently, or that's how, and it sucks, right? It sucks. And so she went through a lot of years in life of people constantly taking advantage of her, and she never knew why. And it wasn't until her and I got older that we finally realized. And I had to tell her, I said, you can't keep giving your feelings to these people, because this is what happens. And it happens every time, right? It happens, the definition of insanity, right? You keep doing the same thing over and over again, but then the same thing keeps happening, and you're hanging on to that hope that things will be better this time, or this person's gonna change this time, or this, you know what I mean? And it's just not like that. It just doesn't work like that. And so you really do, like if you're starting to date, right? I'm seeing this girl right now, and as far as I can tell, she's been real, she's been transparent. I'm not jumping into anything. I'm not trying to move all fast. Whenever I see myself about or possibly getting into a relationship, I tend to take it slow. I slow things down, and we're not jumping into anything. Just plain and simple, we're not jumping into anything. Just because I know how people are, and I know how people. And this is guys and girls, right? Notice how I'm saying people. This is guys and girls, because it's shitty. It's shitty. But no, she's been doing good. It's not like I'm testing her or anything, but it's we've gone out of town already together. We've only been seeing each other for about a month. And granted, when I say out of town, we didn't go anywhere far. It was like an hour drive. Like I had to go out of town, and she just tagged along basically. We've been seeing each other a lot. We've gone out of town. We've been going places, and so far she's been pretty good. And we hit these some stressful situations, and she handles it very well. I had to get mean and loud with some people. There were some times, and she handled that really well. So it honestly seems like this is probably gonna go somewhere. Seems like this is gonna go somewhere. And my last relationship was, when was that? When did I go to Minneapolis? Was that 2015? 2016? I want to say 2015. It had to have been. Yeah. It had to have been 2015. So it's been 1 week since you looked at me. No, it's been about 3 years since then. And damn, I did a lot in these past 3 years. Fucking been all over the world. Fucking, that's mainly what it is. I've just been all over the world. Met a lot of people. Done a lot of things. Startup shit. So, and I got way off track. Y'all know I fucking ramble shit. Fuck. What was I talking about? Started talking about my sister. But now I can't remember. But all right, well, we'll just circle back to the beginning. Addictions are bad. It doesn't matter what it is, because addictions is something that affects the people around you, and you don't realize you're addicted to it, or you justify why you do it. Or perfect example, right? Perfect fucking example. And I'm gonna bring weed up because I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Yes, you can get addicted to weed. You get addicted to drugs. You get addicted to the highs. You get addicted. And I know for a fact, right? All these stoners all of a sudden, oh no, you can't, oh the CBDs and if this strain and that strain, and I don't give a fuck, you can't convince me otherwise. Why? Because I speak from experience, right? This isn't some shit I saw on Dare or PBS or whatever the fuck. This is shit I have intimately experienced through myself and through other people. I have lost friends to this fucking drug. I have lost people, family members, all because this fucking leaf, right? So you cannot convince me that it is good. I am sorry. I'm not saying it doesn't have good qualities, right? Because now people, it cures cancer and this and that. I don't give a fuck what the anomalies are and the exceptions, right? I'm not saying it doesn't have good qualities for some people. All right, yeah, I know a lot of people use it for anxiety, for glaucoma, I know there are benefits to it. But what is this subject about? Addiction. You can get addicted to it. There was one girlfriend that I had. We were moved in with each other, and she was addicted to weed. She would always smoke, always be smoking. That is what she did. She had no hobbies. She had no motivation. She had no aspirations, no goals, no fucking nothing. Her life was waking up, smoking, going back to sleep, waking up, smoking again, going to work her dead-end job, coming back, smoking, falling asleep. That was it. And then even then, when she was high, she was a different person. She was don't touch me. Oh, don't come near me. Oh, why do you want? I just want to. And granted, I'm not a whole touchy feely. Always got to be up in your fucking phone. I swear to God, man. Oh, I can't stand this thing. So I had to shut the door anyways. I was trying to leave the door open, but I had to shut it anyways. This fucking phone. I can't wait to move. I can't wait to fucking move. I'm about to move out. At the time of this recording, I'm about to move out in like 2 weeks. I can't wait to get the fuck out of here. I really can't. I really fucking can't. And what was I ranting about? My ex. And so this is what she looked forward to, right? This is what she looked forward to. She didn't have any real friends, because when you're a pothead, do you really have any real friends, right? And I also, this is from personal experience as well, like there was no such thing as a real friend. It was always, oh, what do you got to smoke? Yeah, do you got anything to smoke? Hey, do you got any blunts? Hey, you want a match? Hey, you know, bowl for bowl, like, and if you didn't have anything, oh no, I'm just gonna stay here, or oh, I gotta go somewhere else, or they can never hang out unless you had anything to smoke. And she was surrounded by fakes. She didn't have anything real or consistent in her life, and she latched on to just getting high. And I remember the day I was done with her, right? The day, and let me take that. No, because not only did I lose respect for her, yeah, this was the day that I was done with her. So we're living together, right? Electric bill comes up, and I can't remember if we were going half and half or if we were alternating months. I don't remember, but all of a sudden she goes, "Hey, I can't pay the electric bill." And I said, "Fuck you mean you can't pay the electric bill?" She says, "Oh, well, I have the money, I just don't have it yet." And I said, so let me get this straight. You can't pay the bill, but you have the money, you just don't have the money yet. Exactly. So I said, okay, so you have the money. Yeah, I have the money, it's just, okay, so give me the money. Well, I can't pay it because I don't. So you can't pay the bill. That's what you're saying. And keep in mind, right? Like I was in between jobs. Let me take that back. We just moved out, and this was probably like a month or two, and I was about to start this job, I think in the next like 2 weeks or something like that. Or did I quit that job because of another job? Yeah. Anyways, I was in between jobs, right? And so, but like I've already talked about my struggle and shit, and I swore to never go broke again. I swore I would never be broke again. So luckily, like I always got money in the bank, right? Always got money in the bank, but that doesn't mean I go and spend it on everything and I just fucking and I'm loose with my wallet. And so I tell her, I say, so let me get this straight. You have the money, but you can't pay the bill. Yeah, because I get paid at blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, well, guess what? We can either do two things. Either one, I pay the bill, which is what's exactly going to have to fucking happen because you don't have any money. And two, or two, our electricity gets shut off in about an hour, and we go into midnight? I said, it's fucking 11 in the morning, and you're telling me this right now that you can't pay the bill? Oh, well, I had to. No, you didn't have to anything. You don't pay anything for your car insurance except gas. You don't pay your rent because your mom does. You don't even pay your phone bill. You quite literally have no expenses. You have no expenses. You're the one with the job. I'm not. But yet, I'm the one who's still having to pay all these fucking bills. But I said, let me get this straight, though. You got money for weed, right? You got money to smoke, don't you? I'm pretty sure you put money aside to go ahead and hit your bong, huh? And so at this point, right, she starts getting all sad and angry. And, she just kind of like put her head down. And this was the first time I ever yelled at her. This was the first time. We've already, this was what? Almost a year into our relationship. And this was the first time I ever yelled at her. Cause I don't yell, right? I yelled enough in the military, and so I don't get loud with people. I don't like to. I will, but I don't like to. And so, she kind of like goes off, does whatever, I go do my thing, pay this fucking bill, and I just I couldn't believe it, right? I couldn't believe it. How the fuck are you gonna tell me you have money, but you can't pay the bill? So, and I told her, right? And I said, what would you do if I wasn't here? What would you do if I wasn't able to pay this bill? Like, what the fuck are you gonna tell the water company? Like, hey, I got the money, but I don't have it yet. You know what the company's gonna say? All right, well, when we get your money, then we'll turn it back on. They're not gonna work anything out with you. They don't give a fuck what you got going on in your life. They just want their money. You're using their service, and they want to get paid for it. It's plain and simple. And so, yeah, midnight hit. She did get her direct deposit, and she did transfer me some money and shit. And she did put extra. She obviously felt bad about it, and I didn't. I'm sorry, but like, I'm not sorry. I'm not gonna apologize for that shit. Like, you fucked up. And not once did she say sorry. Not once did she apologize. Not once did she say, you know what, I'm in the wrong. Not once. There was no acceptance for responsibility at all. And sure enough, though, right? Oh, sorry, thought I heard something. Sure enough, though, right? When she walked off, she goes on the balcony, hits the bong. Sure enough, she goes and comes back. She already had more weed. That's all she fucking did. That's all she fucking did. And no, that was the day that I was done with her. And I was like, this relationship is not gonna go any further. We're not going anywhere. That was our downhill. That was the start of the downhill. And the day that, because this was like, oh God, 2 weeks maybe before we broke up. And, keep in mind, at this point, we're already starting to struggle and shit. She's not seeing some guy, but she's constantly talking to this dude. And he was in like one of her college classes, and like they had a project together, whatever. And then he was a bad influence on her because he had his medical card. And so he was trying to fuck her. And I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Even if I found out to this day, I wouldn't even care. I swear I'm hearing shit. Hold on, let me open this damn door back up. Motherfucker.